on this show for the long. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen.
He is. Hey. Hi. How you doing? I'm good. Good to see you. Yes.
And James McAvoy.
Hi.
James been here before.
Hi, I'm Heather. How you doing? Good.
James
Hi,
no
everybody.
stranger to the show. How you been, man?
Very, very well. Thanks for having us back.
Yeah, remember that, man? Last time you was here, man.
I don't know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It was a film or something.
Yeah, we almost got kicked off of the radio. The FCC came down on the.
Really? Did I have a bad mouth?
It was your accent they did.
It just sounds like I'm swearing. Sounds like I'm fighting.
But welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, man.
Man, what's up?
How are you, man?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Good. As soon as I saw you, I was thinking of that Shia LaBeouf rap. The second I saw you, blew my mind.
Did you see that?
Blew my mind.
Wasn't that crazy?
It was incredible. I got even thinking about it, I'm getting chills. That was amazing.
Hold up, man. What happened for Shia? Can happen for you if you want.
You got bars?
No.
He was telling me the story about what Shia did, and I was like, oh, cool. And I went, we're not doing that, are we?
Well, this
White
is what
guy
you're
from
saying.
Scotland, I don't
We're
think
going to
it's gonna
talk about
work.
the movie, of course.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know, I felt like I had dissociative, what is it called? Identity
disorder.
Yeah. Thought I had DID. Yeah. Welcome to the show, man. I'm a
Thank you so much.
big, huge fan of yours.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about this movie. Two of the guys got a chance to see it last night. And but yesterday we had guests on the show, and we were bragging that you guys were coming by the show. So whenever I brought up your name, each guest had something special to say about you. First one was Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh.
He's just got such guts. Like, Knight does shit that other people don't do. He goes out on a limb. I sort of want to ask him, like, how does he have such guts? And is he scared when he's making those choices? And then how does he kind of back it up with his process? Because he's so prepared.
Wow.
Yeah, because she said you gave her a role without even auditioning her in The Village, right?
Yeah, I saw her do a Shakespeare, a play in downtown New York, and I just knew she was the right one. It's that gut feeling. Actually, same thing happened with him when I met him at Comic-Con. I knew he was the right person for the role, and that's what you wait for, that kind of ineffable kind of gut thing that says it's right, because there's so many factors that go into why somebody's right for a role. And by the way, if I think of my career, it's funny you had Bryce on there. I would say it was Haley. When Haley walked in for Sixth Sense, when I saw Bryce on stage, and when I met James, were kind of the three moments where I was like, that thing I wrote, that's the human being that should play it.
Damn, so there's no real indicator. It's just a gut feeling?
Gut feeling, and in retrospect, I can walk you through it now intellectually after making the movie with him, but it's that Malcolm Gladwell thing, that blink thing where you understand everything about the person instantaneously, and then you start to lose it the more you think about it. And so kind of like who he is, that kind of the innate energy that he gives off, this kind of like, joy that he gives off, and to play someone so dark and, all of it.
Damn, man, did you know you were so complex? So layered?
I was in a very simple frame of mind that night, which was
at a party.
I was at a party. A lot of my friends were there that I didn't know were going to be there. A lot of my friends from X-Men were there, and I knew they were going to be there. And there was a lot of alcohol, and we were just partying. And so that was my frame of mind. But I gave off all the right signals, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm just like, my agent is always saying you need to come to LA more and take more meetings, because that's the way the industry works more these days. And I'm always like, really? I don't know. And then the first time I set foot in California, I meet a director and I get a gig, and I'm like, maybe I should come.
By the way, I felt the same way, because they're always like, oh, you live in Philadelphia, you never go out there, you just make your movies, you don't know anybody. I'm like, all right, I'll go to Comic-Con and I'll go to this party thing. And they had bungalows for us, so each movie had their own little bungalow at the party, and they had the X-Men bungalow, which was slamming. Everybody was having the greatest time. It was packed. They had all the beautiful people were there, and then they had the Visit bungalow right next to it, and it was empty. It was just me with a lot of cushions. And I was standing there feeling pretty awkward, and then he walked by, and to go to the alcohol, which I was closer to the alcohol, so that was the great advantage of my bungalow.
Strategic.
So he walked by, and I grabbed him, and I felt the same way. I'm like, I go to my first industry party, and I find the lead actor. I'm like, this really works.
We're both moving. We're going to get a bungalow together in LA.
Wow. You seem to have this effect on people. Louis Anderson. I don't know. Have you ever met Louis Anderson?
I have not.
Louis Anderson, your name came up again. Can I call you Knight, by the way?
Yeah, please.
I heard Bryce call you Knight.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Knight.
That had a little attitude. You can't say it like that. You could
right.
more affection. You could say.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I was exercising my privilege. Okay.
This way.
Knight, Louis Anderson came, but that was better?
That
Okay.
was sweet. That was sweet. That was a friend right there.
And we told him you were coming. We told him James was coming as well. And we were bragging, basically, that you guys were going to be here. And Louis just had an interesting perspective about your name and your work, too.
Okay.
If you have that name, it's mispronounced your whole life. Can I get M. Long Shot about coming? Your table's ready, M. Shot. Ding dong. M. Shyamalan, you are really a great filmmaker, man. You are just a great filmmaker. I love his stuff. It's really, he takes a lot of chances.
Yes, he
I
does.
see dead people.
Yo, I don't know why we played that. It seemed like a good idea when we were brainstorming.
I didn't know where to go with that, but it was cool.
But the common theme is that you take a lot of chances. And
Yeah,
and
interesting.
That's interesting to me because you probably took even more chances prior to getting into the game, but it was harder for people to recognize. What was that first break that somebody took a chance on your chances?
Well, it's interesting that you say that. I've been really lucky. My first film I made when I was 21, and I haven't stopped making movies since 21, and just the luckiest dude. Seriously, everything I've ever written has been offered to be made into a movie. Every single screenplay I've ever written. So
Done on us?
I know, so it's weird. I wrote Stuart Little. Everything. I've just been super, super lucky. But I have found that, all the things that make you different are your weapon,
Yeah.
And, that I live in Philly, that I'm Indian, that I live in Philadelphia, that I went to Catholic school, that my parents are really heavily Hindu, that all of that weirdness, all of that stuff, that I love basketball, that I love cheeseburger, blah, blah, blah. Mix it all together and you have this weird point of view that is unusual, relatable, but you're talking about spiritual things and all that stuff. And now I'm doubling down on that feeling of making very unique movies, because now it's very hard to get you guys to go to the movie theater, right? There's how to get out, pay the money, get out of your off your sofa and get in the car and all that stuff. So one reason is to go see CGI porn. That's okay, great.
Okay, that's
Great,
That's a given.
as
That's a
much
given.
as much CGI. Oh my God, I can go to the theater. But another reason is to make the most salient original movie that's out there. So there's no way to know what Split is like unless you go see it.
And that's what we're going to encourage people to do. Let's talk about Split and open up the phone lines. Knight is here. Shyamalan, M. Night Shyamalan is here. James McAvoy is here. 888-742-3345. Call us.
The revolution is here.
My name's Hedwig. I have red socks. Someone's coming for you, and you're not gonna like it. You guys make noises in your sleep.
Tell us.
I'm not supposed to say, but he's done awful things to people, and he'll do awful things to you.
Yeah, man, this is one of those movies that feels like you're going to have to watch over and over. It's called Split. It's in theaters this Friday, January 20th. This isn't something you watch on your couch at home.
Okay.
Okay, you don't watch it on your phone while you're jogging on the treadmill. This is not that. This is something you have the whole experience. Like you go to the movie theater with your loved one or friend or family. Well, I don't know about family, but depending on how old your kids are. You go late. You might even do pregame. You might want to even pregame a little bit before you go to.
drinks?
Right.
This is sounding good.
Get there, get you some popcorn, whatever it is to make you comfortable. Use the bathroom before you sit down.
Definitely.
So you don't want to be that person, get up in the middle of the movie.
Oh, wait, yeah, I'm going to tell you something funny about that. You bring that up. I've actually never told you this. So when you're testing the movie, like you show it early, first it's really long and you're figuring it out and moving it and getting it tighter and tighter. You literally, I didn't believe it at first when I was told this, but this is actually what happens. Like you'll show the movie, let's say the movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long and you preview it for an audience. And people are getting up and going to the bathroom and they take their time and they're walking out and they come back. And as you tighten the movie and as you do it, less and less people go to the bathroom during the watching of the movie. And then until you get to the point where no one is going to the bathroom except one person that runs as fast as they can. They run out and they run back and they're looking at the screen as they run out, and that's when like you've you have the right rhythm, you have the right everything. It's so funny because people don't. What happens to you is you get lost in the experience and you stop thinking about things like, what am I feeling? Do I need to go about any of that stuff? It just goes away. You stop for 2 hours and you focus. It's a wild kind of litmus test of seeing. If I hadn't seen it over and over, I wouldn't believe what I'm telling you. But it starts out when you first show it, and the people are casually walking. Everyone's going to the bathroom whenever they want, and then by the end of Split, I mean, nobody moves.
Wow. So how many times did you have to test it before you were like, all right, finished product?
That movie, I think I did it 3 times.
Okay.
3 times, yeah. I do smaller ones at near home for just in between, but the big ones 3 times.
Cool.
Well, me and DJ Wonder went to go see Split actually in the theaters, and I don't think anybody actually got up to go to the bathroom at all, like you were saying, especially towards the end. I don't want to give anything away, but I have questions for both of you guys. James, playing one character is hard enough. You play upwards of about, I'd say, on camera, maybe 10 or so?
9. I show 9. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you prepare to play 9 characters in one film? And for Night, it seems like you kind of went back and really dug deep and kind of reinvented your approach to making films. You know what I mean? Instead of just doing something that had a catch or a plot twist, it seems like you really wanted to focus on DID and the possibilities that it can bring related to this movie. So is that true?
You want to go first?
Yeah, playing the 9 characters, it was complicated. There was a lot of work to do in a very short space of time, but it was really, to be honest with you, it was doing the job I always do. It was just doing it 9 times instead of 1 times, and some of them came really naturally. Some of them came without having to work too hard, and some of them it took a long time because you're playing 9 people. You want them all to be distinct. You want them all to be different, but you don't want them to just be different for the sake of being different. So you get through maybe 3 or 4 of them, and you've run out of physical quirks. You've run out of different voices. You've run out of all the things you can do as an actor, and you have to sit there and actively expand your range, which is a hard thing to do throughout your career. Never mind with a time scale in mind, going, we start shooting in 3 weeks. You know, so it was a lot of work, but it was a good challenge. It was a happy challenge. It was like going to the gym and having a good workout where you feel battered at the end of it. You feel proud of yourself. It was like that. It was positive. It wasn't sitting around scratching your head going, this is challenging because it's bad work. Challenging because it was good work that you had to hopefully rise to. You know.
When we think of like artists and why over the course of their career, how come that songwriter doesn't write a song that affects me anymore? How does that? What is that? What is that architecture of an artist's life that causes them to not be able to reach us? And there's this, for me, this is all a theory of like, there's an optimal moment of experience and instinct that happens, and then it like causes this electric moment, and we hear them really beautifully, and then the way that life is like experience kind of becomes your expertise, and it becomes safety. Like you use your craft to protect you, and you stop doing the instinct thing, that Shia LaBeouf thing, because it was the first time and he was scared and all that stuff. The craft and instinct was really hot on that moment, and it became transcendent there. And and if he did it 75 times, that would start to go away. Like the craft of it would like start to smother the instinct. So for me, what I've been trying to do is become a beginner again. So to do that, it was take away everything. I don't have any money. I don't have any trailers. Nothing. Okay, you just tell a great story. Just go tell a great story. So this is me imposing it on myself. Can't work with anybody that you've worked with before. So like on Split, the cinematographer, it's his 3rd movie. The composer, it's for his 1st movie. The production designer, 1st movie. Editor, 2nd movie. These are all young bucks that haven't done anything really. And so they come and it's like dangerous and instinctual, and they don't have the experience, but I have that, and they have they're bringing me back to that kind of be gut, and there's so little time that you can't, so take away everything. And then, so for me, the equivalent would be if I was an NBA basketball player, which I fantasize about, by the way. I would have in my contract, I'm allowed to go play wherever I want, Rutgers, I'm allowed to play anywhere, and take my sneakers, get out of the car, and go play and get elbowed and all that stuff, because you have to relearn again, there's no rules. And so you can feel that when you watch Split, that kind of reinvention of it.
Wow, that was a gem.
Yes, Wonder?
I was wondering, now I saw that you produced it alongside Blumhouse. Is that correct? So are you having investors that still want to constantly put money in your pocket, or do you want to take reins over the financial aspect of your films moving forward?
Well, again, this is really interesting. I pay for the movies, these 2 movies myself, and so I pay for it, and the reason I do it is so I can feel that tension, that thing of like every second is mine. It's my money. It's my thing. And so I know everyone feels invested, but when it's your money, you're hyper invested.
Yeah, man.
You are in 100%, 100%. And so, and I don't get paid unless the movie makes money. I make zero on it, and I like that feeling of free falling. Like on Friday, if it doesn't do well, I didn't get paid. That's it.
Hey, man, you always have a job here, bro, if you want to just
Thank you.
just hang out.
Thank you.
You and Shia.
That's cool.
Okay, we can do that.
Make coffee.
Right. M. Night is here. James is here. I'm calling him first name and basis now. Feel like we're family.
Yeah, definitely.
Heather, did you want to?
Yeah, I do. These questions are serious, though. You have
Yeah.
to dig deep.
Okay.
All right. Who's your favorite NBA team?
Oh my! Well, obviously the Sixers, 76ers.
He's from Philly. He's
I
from
know.
Philly. He's from Philly.
Wow. Okay, I'm
He's
sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Courtside.
Okay,
Philly.
You
Yeah,
just
we
feel
love
like
AI.
as eloquent as he just spoke, just
Yeah.
to have just a hopeless team. It's just a
That's
contradiction,
ridiculous.
right?
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
sorry. I'm sorry.
whoa.
And question 2, even deeper.
We're 6-4 in the last 10 games. Joel Embiid. We got
Yeah.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
You guys, all right.
Shout out to
We'll
Ben
see.
Simmons,
from
though. He's a
Oakland.
beast. Ben
Yes.
Simmons is a beast, though.
Okay,
Sway.
what's the other-
He's a beast.
the-
Where do you
Trust
get
the process,
best
man. Trust the
cheesesteaks?
process.
Trust the
Where do you get the
process.
best cheesesteaks?
The best cheesesteaks, because you mentioned Philly.
I mean, I like Jim Steaks.
Jim Steaks.
Yeah, on South
Okay.
Street.
Because I always go to Ishkabibbles. I drive down from Jersey to go to
Mm.
Ishkabibbles, which is a 2-hour ride for me, but it's worth it.
You do it for the cheesesteak?
That's it. For the fish, because they have fish steaks. Like, they have a fish one, and they have the gremlin with the lemonade and the
Wait,
grape
you're
juice.
confusing me. You drove 2 hours to go to a cheesesteak place and you get fish?
Yeah, because I cheesesteak.
Look at
Do
the
that
does
to me.
sound crazy.
You know how you say about characters and layers?
Yeah.
I'm one of
You're
those
layered.
people.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
layered.
complex.
Yeah, I'm
complex.
super
That's pretty
complex.
complex.
So Jim Steaks is the best place.
I like it, yeah.
Okay. Can I get fish?
Huh?
Can I get fish?
You
there?
cannot get fish
All
there.
right.
She won't be
Okay.
there. She won't make the
This
drive.
way. Thank you.
Akila's on the line from Arkansas. Good morning, Akila.
Good morning.
Yeah, Akila, what do you do for a living?
I am a mental health therapist.
A mental health therapist from Arkansas. This is perfect. All right,
Yes, it is.
because the main character, Kevin Wendell Crumb, has dissociative identity disorder. A lot of folks are hearing that for the first time. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I mean, it's just multiple personalities. Oftentimes, when like there's a trauma or like something severe that happens in a person's life, their like mind splits and it tries to protect their main personality basically from experiencing the trauma that they had. So oftentimes they can split multiple times to try to protect the host individual from experiencing those traumas. That makes sense.
Yeah, well
That's
said.
pretty
Well
good.
said.
Okay, good. Okay, and that's what the main character is suffering from, right?
Yes. Yes.
Is it a suffering, though, to be able to, chime into those chambers of the mind and
Well,
all
I
these?
mean, yeah, that's part of what really fascinates me about this condition. And when you see the movie, you'll see it actually is an interesting spin on what the human mind is capable of, how it defends itself, and the things that these individuals can do it's astounding. It's astounding, and so it's really a conversation about trauma, and it's fascinating because it's big. Hopefully a movie that a lot of people are going to go see, but it really is at its core about trauma and how we react to trauma and what we are like at the after trauma has come to us.
Akila, thank you for calling. You're a citizen.
Let's wait in the morning.
Appreciate it, man. All right, you got it, girl. You made it.
Hey.
All right, so hey, before you guys go, this happened so quickly. M. Night Shyamalan is here, and James McAvoy is here. We prepared something special for you guys.
Yes.
James, you're familiar with our process. You've been here before. DB, you want to explain?
Yes. Okay. So last time you were here, James, we did a Back to the Future Goonies quiz with you.
Yes.
And since you have M. Night Shyamalan with you, and I read that one of your favorite movies is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, yeah.
So I decided to do a Back to the Future Raiders of the Lost Ark trivia game.
I'm excited.
Ready?
Here we go.
Your favorite movie, your favorite album, your favorite whatever. This is the ultimate trivia game. Right now on Sway in the Morning.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Wow. That
And
was,
there's a little catch, too.
okay.
Since you're such a fan, if you win, you get Gray's Sports Almanac.
Oh, no
my personal collection. And M, I don't have any Raiders stuff for you, but I do have an Eminem CD. Since you're on Shade 45, Eminem station. Now, you two can help each other, and I hope you get them right so you can win some cool prizes. Are you ready?
Okay, go for it.
First question. Marty McFly pretends to be a visitor from outer space in order to convince George McFly to ask Lorraine to the school dance.
Yes.
When George asks who he is, what is his response? A, E.T., B, Han Solo, C, Darth Vader, or D, the Terminator?
Darth Vader.
Very right.
Well done. Well
Take
done.
you want to take a moment, James?
Yeah. Make it look like they were hard.
Okay.
Number 2, the staff of Ra was used to find the location where the Ark of the Covenant is buried. The name of that location is the Pit of Death, the Well of Souls, the Chamber of Eternity, or the Temple of Spirits.
Well of Souls.
Damn it.
Damn.
I was shaking.
These dudes are not even taking a breath.
We're like Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. You guys are in a transcendent moment right now.
3, at the school dance, Marty takes over for the injured lead singer. After hearing Marty play, he calls his cousin, who was a famous musician by the name of A, Chuck Berry, B, B.B. King, C, Stevie Wonder, or D, Ray Charles.
Chuck Berry.
Fuck.
Do you have any real questions in there?
Listen to this.
All right. True or false? Indiana Jones had an affair with Marion, who was also the daughter of his mentor, Marcus Brody.
True.
False.
Oh! Marcus Brody.
Oh wait,
not
not Marcus Brody. Sorry, I went too fast.
Abner
She married
Abner Ravenwood.
Ravenwood.
Sorry, I thought that's what you were gonna say. Actually, you know what the irony of that is that I got that wrong. That's the name of my house. Actually, I named it after Ravenwood. I thought you were gonna say Ravenwood. That was one of those you pressed too quickly.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, like, one of the sexiest moments in any film ever is when Julie Brown in Raiders of the Lost Ark shuts her eyes and it says "I love you" on it.
In the
That is
classroom.
that's amazing.
All right, final question. Which movie grossed more, Raiders or Back to the Future?
That's a good one. Whoa.
There's only an $8 million difference.
Oh,
Wow.
All right,
So I was 12 there. I was 14 on Back to the Future. I'm gonna say Back to the Future just because it was later. But how could that be?
And he was a massive, massive TV star at the time as well, wasn't he?
You're the deliberation right now.
Yeah. Can we call Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah. He's my phone a friend.
I could hit him up.
He's my best friend. All right, go for it.
I think. Go ahead.
We're going to go for Back to the Future.
You're going to go for wrong.
No!
Raiders 389, Back to the Future 381.
Yeah.
Wow.
We just shut down M. Night Shyamalan and James
That's
McAvoy. We shut them down.
Yes,
Still gonna give them the gifts.
Thanks, dude.
Hey, Night, man.
Thank you.
Hey, man. Got an Eminem album,
Slim
baby.
Shady.
Yes. Hey, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
I want to encourage all our citizens to go see this movie.
Yes.
It's even the way, just in the explanation, I know these guys have seen it already. These guys actually made it. Really interesting movie. It's a good time to see great stories being told. James, I know you're phenomenal. Night, man, it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Gotta
Gosh, you
come
guys,
back.
it's such a wonderful thing to be here. You guys have a great energy.
Thank you,
so
man.
much.
Appreciate it. Now,
Beautiful.
you know, that's what Shia got intoxicated on was the energy, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, VP, who we got?
Neil Patrick Harris.
888-742-3345.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45. Kilo.